Welcome back, everybody, to another dicondissectional production hosted by Deathstroke9. Today we're going to be reacting to Grateful Dead Ripple, the official music video. Hopefully, let me make it a little bit smaller so that hopefully it does not get blocked because I'm showing a music video. But yeah, it's been a minute since we've done a Grateful Dead song. There were actually two different Grateful Dead songs that I wanted to do. Unfortunately, I'm pressed for time right now, so I'm doing the shorter one. But plan to do the other one soon, which is like 13 minutes long, and I'm excited to do that as well. So, yeah, without waiting any longer, let's just get right into it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you're having an awesome day. Let's get into this. Grateful Dead, Ripple. Deck. Yes, it is.
If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. Don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air.
That's beautiful.
Still water, when there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow, reach out your hand.
I really love it. I was actually pretty stressed before starting this, and this is actually pretty calming, so awesome. Yeah, the video has a lot of symbolism going on. Wow. There's so many references. It's interesting. I like it. I like it a lot. I really liked when he said ripple right there, and then the I'm not sure exactly what instrument that is, but when that instrument started playing really fast, that was beautiful as well. Let's keep going. That.
Nor wind to blow, reach out your hand. If your cup be empty, if your cup is full, may it be again, let it be known. There is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. There is a road, no simple highway between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for
Of the bass.
your steps alone. Ripple in still water,
So pretty.
when there is no pebble tossed, no wind to blow. You choose to lead, must follow. But if you fall alone. If you should stand, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home. da da da. La da 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 da.
Should be holding a candle and waving it back and forth.
Da da da. Da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da da. La da da da.
That was a very interesting video. Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Whoa, hold on. Wait. Oh, no, that was an accident. Let me get note of that. Wait a minute. Let me go back a little bit. Wow. Look at that. The Grateful Dead. This is their official YouTube channel too. They linked. It looks like Jamal, aka Jamal, actually reacted to this, and they linked his reaction to it. That's so freaking awesome! Wow, holy cow! Wow. All right, I'm getting distracted by that, but that's really cool. Yeah, so that was Ripple, and man. Oh, look, the first comment under here is interesting. I told my brother to be quiet when he told me he wanted this played at his funeral. I didn't want to think he would ever not be here. His life was far too short, but he left behind a legacy of kindness and generosity. We had so many wonderful times listening to the Grateful Dead. I'm so thankful for this music to bring memories of my brother back. That is... alright. That's incredibly sad. May your brother rest in peace, Amanda. This song is the anthem of humanity. Music video had a lot of occultic references in it, which was interesting. This just confirms we're living in a Grateful Dead renaissance. Okay, so this video actually came out only a couple months ago. Cool. My first song ever learned on guitar was taught by my grandfather, and he taught me this because of my love for the Dead. Crying in bed at 9 a.m. That was beautiful. I'll never forget this part of the year. Here's to better times. Thank you so much. This is beautiful. Let's take a look at the lyrics. Ripple is the 6th song on the Grateful Dead album American Beauty. It was released as the B-side to the single Truckin'. Robert Hunter wrote the song in 1970 in London. In the same afternoon, he wrote Broke Down Palace and To Lay Me Down, reputedly also drinking half a bottle of Retsina in the process. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. The song debuted August 18th, 1970 at Fillmore West in San Francisco. Jerry Garcia wrote the music to the song. If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as if it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. I don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. A ripple in still water. Wow. Someone wrote Anthem of Humanity. There you go. Reach out with your hand if your cup be empty. And if your cup is full, may it be again. Let it be known there is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. There is a road, no simple highway between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. Hey, Claire, can you close that door? Thank you so much. The path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. You who choose to lead must follow, but if you fall alone. If you should stand, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home. This song is incredible. Holy cow. I didn't even catch a lot of these lyrics, but it's so beautiful. It's I don't even know what to say. I'm just running a lot of these over in my head. This is I really liked listening to the jam tracks by the Grateful Dead. Those have been my favorite so far by them. Um, but this song lyrically is my by far my favorite Grateful Dead song that I've heard so far. This is incredible. The mystical imagery of a harp unstrung denotes an event with no cause. This song suggests that thoughts are such events, arising in one's mind seemingly spontaneously. This song was written by lyricist Robert Hunter for the Grateful Dead. The first verse asks what would happen to the thoughts behind the song as it's transmitted through another person's performance, then arise spontaneously in the listener's mind. Would the lyricist's voice still be heard? Would it become truly internalized in the listener? The line also recalls William Butler Yeats' The Madness of King Goal, in which the king speaks of a harp all songless that he has found. A harp is an instrument played in classical art as being portrayed in classical art as being played by angels, and the narrator asks if the words were golden and he was a mystic who could play on a harp with no strings silently, would the message be heard and held as if it came from within? Because in a way, it does come from the mystic self. Lots of mysticism is what we're getting here. The verse has to do with the limited ability to transmit thoughts through words and music. Just because the lyricist has certain thoughts while composing a song does not mean that every listener will have the same thoughts when hearing it. This limitation is not a problem, though, since the purpose of a song is not to transmit an idea between two people, but to have ideas fill the air. Perhaps it's even desirable to have the ideas change in transmission, yes. Also, the chorus, ripple in still water when there's no pebble tossed, is like something coming from nothing. Seeming like it's coming from nothing. We don't know what's actually causing it, you know? It's interesting. Like humanity. Very interesting. At 17 syllables, the chorus has been described as a haiku. Although the line breaks, ripple and still water when there is no pebble, tossed nor wind to blow, vary from the usual syllabic structure of a haiku, the nature metaphor and the contradiction strongly suggest the Japanese poetic form. Here it seems to suggest that a thought is like a ripple in still water, a fleeting event with no cause. This concept also appears in the first verse as a harp unstrung. The song is also often compared to Psalm 32 in the Bible, which also refers to still water. He leads me beside still waters, and he refreshes my soul. Seen as a haiku, the passage represents the haiku ideal itself, a short poem arising from nowhere and ending before one realizes its end. The song is beautiful. The lyricist wishes the listener happiness if he is currently going through trouble, and if the listener is already in a good place, he wishes for this to continue. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. The fountain represents artistic inspiration. Garcia and Hunter feel they aren't creating their art by their own hands, but merely channeling some strange universal force. The cup can be refilled indefinitely. It can represent God or any other divine force. According to the man himself, this line is the peak of the work of dead lyricist Robert Hunter. He says, "Let it be known that there is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men," is pretty much my favorite line I ever wrote. That's ever popped into my head. And I believe it, you know? This picture is beautiful. What dawn and dark of night signify is left ambiguous. It could mean birth and death, or happiness and sadness, or just like the duality. You know, they showed the light and the dark, the two swirly spiral things. I forget what that's called. Or what's that other imagery? I don't know if they showed it, but like the white and the black snakes, like both eating each other, which is supposed to be like the morning and the nighttime. Yeah, and like the cycle. I don't know. Anyway, in the former representation, the road from dawn to darkness represents life. In the latter representation, the road represents the fact that it's possible for one's emotional state to change. In both interpretations, the difference between a road and a highway is significant. A highway is one direct path that quickly transports you from one point to another. A road is not a simple path. It's difficult, requires conscious attention, and makes unexpected turns. Several pieces of canonical literature help contextualize Hunter's lines here. Walt Whitman's Song of Myself. There is a home in that yonder city that was not made by hand. Preface to Daybreak. For he who proceeds on his own path in this fashion occurs no one. This is inherent in proceeding on one's own path. No one comes along to help him. All the perils, accidents, malice, and bad weather which assail him, he has to tackle himself, for his path is his alone. Yes, and he's the only one to blame for his mistakes as well. The folk song Lonesome Valley. You've got to walk that lonesome valley. You've got to walk it by yourself. There's no one here can walk it for you. You've got to walk it by yourself. You who choose to lead must follow. Therefore, desiring to rule over the people, one must in one's words humble oneself before them, and desiring to lead the people, one must in one's person follow behind them. This line is suggesting that in order to act as an effective leader, one must interpret the desires of those they are leading and react accordingly. In order to lead a group of people, you must understand them and learn from and follow them as they do you. Yeah, a lot of people misunderstand what it means to be a leader, I think. A lot of people think that means imposing your will on other people. But really, it means following the will of the people more than anything. Becoming a leader just means you're like a figurehead for all of everybody else's desires and wants. Otherwise, you're not really a leader, you know? Who would want you as a leader if you're not somehow benefiting them, you know? If you're not being honest with them, if you're not... Yeah, it's interesting how many leaders like throughout history who became like dictators or whatever misunderstood this basic tenet of what being a leader meant. It does not mean imposing your will upon other people, but rather allowing the will of the people to influence you so that you're basically a representative of them. At least that's how I understand it. Anyway, continuing. But if you fall alone. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. Another possible association is with the necessity of descent from a prelapsarian state. The fall from grace comes at a great personal cost, but one must make their own choices, relying therefore on no one else. Here, stand refers to acting independently. The lyricist poses the question, if you follow in your own footsteps, where are you trying to go? And who will help take you there? Apologies that I keep yawning. I'm kind of tired. This is going to be my last video that I record today. Some translations of the Tao begins thus. The way that can be trodden is not the eternal way. However, as per discussion following this translation, there are many other erroneous translations of the first line, such as the following: the way that can be experienced, the way that can be followed, those who would follow the way. This is erroneous because the second Dao, when used as a verb, can only mean to talk, to speak, etc., can never mean to follow or experienced. Not in modern or ancient Chinese, and not in any conceivable context. Such mistakes were fairly common in the past when Western scholars' understanding of Chinese was still in its infancy. Compared with the later Dead Song, I Will Take You Home, which frames its narrative through usage of Blakean poetry. Beautiful song, absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys soon. Deathstroke 9 out. We are but a ripple when there is no stone and no water. Not water, wind. What is it? Let me find it again. A ripple in still water when there is no pebble toss nor wind to blow.